Mother Nature is ruthless out here. It seems this year, the last like 7, 8 months, Mother Nature's been ruthless. I don't know if it's global warming and humans are like us and nature combining, but this is crazy. Kentucky floods leaving 8 dead already.
From Secretary Noem, and she offered to help, and we've already seen that help today. And the president signed off on our request as quickly as we have ever seen a president sign off on our request. So thank you to President Trump for his assistance. Now, federal resources are available for impacted areas, helping us to better respond and support affected Kentuckians. Where we are right now is in the emergency response phase. This is the search and rescue phase. And I am very proud of all the Kentuckians that are out there responding, putting their lives on the line to help others. As we are here 24 hours into this natural disaster, we've already seen over 1,000 rescues. That means there's 1,000 plus Kentuckians that are safe, primarily because of the swift water boat teams, as well as so many other responders that are out there. Unfortunately, this disaster is taking a toll in terms of human life. Even with the incredible response that we've seen, we can confirm that we've lost at least 8 Kentuckians due to this weather event. They include an adult male in Hart County that was related to a motor vehicle accident, an adult male in Pike County that is floodwater related, an adult female in Hart County, also floodwater related, and with her a child in Hart County, also floodwater related. Another adult male in Pike County, an adult female in Washington County, an adult male in Clay County. Those were all floodwater related. And then another fatality related to a motor vehicle accident in Nelson County. We believe this number is going to grow. We hope it doesn't grow quickly or grow much larger, but one way that you can help us out to ensure we have as few fatalities as possible is don't get on the roadways. Now, give time for the water to go down. So many of these fatalities were due to attempts to drive through water and through moving water. So, folks, stay off the roads right now.
Yeah, you can't drive through moving water. Water don't take much. It'll lift a car. Think about it. Water-shaped mountains through years or whatever. You see curves and rivers. Water-shaped that. It's like a knife. Was enough of it, so that'd pick up a car. They think they can make it through it to pick your ass up, flood you. You can't, and then the water's so strong coming through, you can't open the doors, and now you in a. It's like being in a damn aquarium.
Now and stay alive. We need your help. Today, we just got another 1/2 to 1 inch of precipitation, depending on where in the state you were. This was on top of all of the original projections. That was a mix of rain and snow. We may see some additional light and scattered snow across the Commonwealth today. There's another small system moving towards us, but shouldn't be as significant as what we have already seen or like yesterday. More concerning are wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour, especially for central and eastern Kentucky. Think about how wet the ground is. These gusts mean that we could have trees come down and limbs come down, and we're seeing that in our power numbers. We expect isolated tree damage, uproots, and power outages because of the wind. And it's going to get even more complicated. I'll talk at the end about how Tuesday night into Wednesday night, we're going to have another round of snow that is going to dump at least an inch and maybe up to 6 to 8 inches on parts of Kentucky. That will cause significant disruption and closures, especially depending on where we are in dealing with this flood at that point. This emergency phase we're in is going to last at least a couple more days. That's the type of event we're dealing with, and we're going to be actively dealing with this flood for probably the next week in different parts of at least getting things cleaned up. When we look at our operational teams, local swiftwater teams were pre-positioned throughout the state. They started rescues immediately, and they are continuing it. We now have a USART team that is here in the EOC with us, and it has been a great addition. 19 active state swiftwater teams are currently in operation. Many of them are in eastern Kentucky, but they've made rescues in multiple counties. They have worked throughout the night. They are exhausted, but they continue to go out and make rescue after rescue after rescue. We also have federal USAR teams from Indiana, Ohio, and Tennessee that are either operating or they're on their way. So thank you to those jurisdictions for lending a hand in our time of need. Power outages right now, 39,315. That's as of now. 9,800 service connections are without water across Kentucky. 26,000 service connections are under a boil water advisory. 2 wastewater systems are.
Let's look up children among 3 killed. Let's see some images of this, man.
This has just been a wild weekend for weather. There's the flooding aspect of everything that we
see. People think they could just drive through it. They don't realize, sometimes dips, and that's dangerous.
A little bit further north, kind of in the midsection of this storm system, as that has been a big headline grabber and, for obvious reasons. And of course, when it comes to flooding, that's been where we have seen the fatalities take place over the last couple of days. Certainly, we had one fatality, I believe, of an older gentleman, unfortunately, in Kentucky. And I think, Michael, we had another confirmation of a younger fatality as well, which you hate to hear.
Oh my goodness, it was
Look how fast. That water don't look like it's going fast, but it's going pretty fast.
2 people that were inside a vehicle, and a juvenile body was actually recovered. And unfortunately, the coroner did pronounce that 7-year-old juvenile as deceased.
Probably couldn't even get out the car.
Unfortunately. So again, this is a story that is continuing to develop, and please keep in mind that the flooding concern is not over, right? Port Royal, Tennessee picking up nearly 8.5 inches of rain. Clarksville, Tennessee picking up about 7 3/4 of an inch of rain, and all of that rainwater still needs to flow into the creeks, rivers, and streams. And unfortunately, Adam, what happens is you start to see rivers dramatically rise even in the days after the rain stops.
Yeah, this can sometimes take 48, 72 hours. That's not unheard of to see a river crest 2 to 3 days in some cases after you've seen a really big rainfall event, particularly when you're looking at this part of the country where it is so hilly and it takes a while to work its way down. So just because the rain has stopped doesn't mean that some of those low-lying areas won't ultimately still see a rush of water before this is all said and done. And that is all kind of timing in with suddenly some colder air coming in. So there's going to be a lot of problems in the days ahead, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you where some of the river concerns are. And here we go. I think my show is going to start over. But the idea is that, you get the flash flooding right here, right? And that's where the immediate concerns are and were. And then eventually, all of that flood water and all that flooding has to eventually make its way down to the Gulf. And so we could see rivers, streams, and creeks along the Gulf Coast from this specific event go up in the coming days. And I know that kind of trips some people out. And they say, well, how is it possible that the event has been over for a couple of days and streams and creeks are still going up? It's all that runoff, right? And it takes a while for everything to work its way through.
Yeah, it definitely got to work its way through. It's kind of like if you ever saturated a paper towel. Like if you put a paper towel down and you pour water on it, well, most of the water is going to go out and the paper towel is going to catch it. But as water keeps coming down, keep pouring it, eventually it's going to get so saturated and then that water is going to start coming out again. It's basically the same thing happened in the ground, especially if you're on the hill high up and the ground is absorbing that water. Eventually that water is going to pass through and go to the creeks and stuff below. Like they said, it's hilly. It's going down. And by the time it gets there, now the river's going up and up and up. And now the people that's down on the lower levels got something else that's wrong. And like you said, the trees and the ground is not hard no more. Now the trees that's probably been standing for 100, 200, 300, 400 years, now they at risk of coming down with the winds. It's like a perfect storm. The water makes the ground soggy. The ground soggy makes the trees able to move. The high winds make it likely that they're going to push them over. Perfect storm. But prayers to the people of Kentucky and any other where that's experiencing this. And they got to deal with the snow in the coming days, so we'll be keeping a lookout on them. Hopefully that number from 8 doesn't rise quickly to the double digits and beyond. But let me know what y'all think. If you're out there, any people, please keep safe, stay safe, get to high ground, whatever you got to do. Keep your family safe. Don't risk it. If you double think it, like, can I drive through this? Think I can, don't even do it. Try to find another way. Peace.